Come, sit with me for a moment. In every generation, people build a marketplace out of sentences. They hang bright banners that promise relief. Follow your bliss, you only live once. Life is short. Good vibes only. Everything happens for a reason. And because the human heart is tired, it buys what is easy to carry. Let me tell you a small parable. A traveler once came to a crossroads at dusk. On one side stood a merchant selling bliss. He said, "Choose what feels good, and you will never be lost." On the other side stood a merchant selling urgency. He said, "Run because time is short." Behind them, almost invisible, sat an old craftsperson with a quiet table. No slogans, only tools. The traveler, like most people, went to the loud merchants first. He followed bliss. At the start, it felt like flying. Newness has that effect. Novelty gives the mind a burst of reward. But soon the road became ordinary again. Meetings, mistakes, doubts, boredom, disappointment. And the traveler discovered a truth that wisdom traditions have whispered for centuries. A feeling is a visitor. It is not a landlord. In modern psychology, the same idea appears with a clinical backbone. In 1999, Stephen Hayes, Kirk Strosahl, and Kelly Wilson published Acceptance and Commitment Therapy. Their core message was not chase happiness, but build psychological flexibility. Learn to make room for thoughts and emotions without letting them drive the cart. A 2015 meta-analysis by Tijak and colleagues found that acceptance and commitment therapy tends to beat treatment as usual and often performs similarly to established therapies for many outcomes. That is not motivational poetry. That is evidence-meeting practice. So when someone says, "Follow your bliss," I answer like a sage who has watched weather for a long time. Do not follow bliss. Walk with values. Bliss may join you. It may not. Values will still be there when bliss misses the bus. Then the traveler turned toward urgency. You only live once, he told himself. Life is short. He used those words like scissors. He cut off careful planning. He cut off repair conversations. He cut off patience. He cut off sleep. For a season, he felt brave. Then he felt unstable. Because urgency can feel like courage, but it is often anxiety wearing a heroic costume. Here is a proverb for that. The man who burns his house to make a bright fire will not enjoy the winter. If you want an evidence-based alternative to urgency, listen to what Ryan and Deci offered in their 2000 paper on self-determination theory. They argued that humans thrive when three psychological needs are supported: autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Choice, capability, connection. When your life feeds these needs consistently, you do not need constant intensity to feel alive. Now let us speak of the existential crisis, because this is where slogans start to crumble. People think an existential crisis means something has gone wrong. Often it means something honest has finally spoken. It is the moment your inner life stops accepting borrowed meanings. It asks, what am I doing, and why does it matter to me? In 2010, psychologist Crystal Park published a major review describing how meaning-making is not a decorative hobby. It is deeply tied to how people adjust to adversity. When life becomes stressful, humans naturally try to integrate what happened into a workable story and a workable set of beliefs. And meaning is not only philosophy. In 2010, Breitbart and colleagues published a trial of meaning-centered psychotherapy for patients with advanced cancer, developing an intervention to strengthen purpose even in the shadow of mortality. The mind reaches for meaning the way lungs reach for air. So when someone tells you everything happens for a reason, you can respond gently but firmly. Some things happen for no good reason. The task is not to pretend it was beautiful. The task is to build meaning anyway. Now the traveler grew older, and he reached the valley people call midlife. This is where the stories get noisy. Popular culture insists midlife equals crisis, a sports car, an affair, a dramatic escape. But research has always been more nuanced than the jokes. In 2004, developmental psychologist Margie Lockman argued that the inevitable midlife crisis story is not supported the way the public imagines. Midlife is more often a complex intersection of roles, responsibilities, and changing bodies, not a guaranteed collapse. Economists Blanchflower and Oswald in 2008 suggested that some measures of well-being dip in midlife for many people, but the dip is not the same as a Hollywood meltdown. So here is the proverb that belongs to midlife. When you reach the middle of the bridge, you do not have to jump. You can simply adjust your grip and keep walking. Now we must speak of the quotes that mislead people, especially the ones that push emotional avoidance. Good vibes only is one of the most dangerous blessings in modern clothing. It tells people to exile grief, anger, fear, and shame. But emotions do not disappear when you exile them. They become louder in the body and sneakier in behavior. In 1993, Gross and Levinson showed that trying to suppress emotional expression changes physiological responding. You can clamp your face, but your nervous system still speaks. In 2012, Webb, Miles, and Sheeran published a large meta-analysis comparing emotion regulation strategies and found reliable differences in how strategies shape outcomes. And the mind has another trick. If you tell it, "Do not think about that," it often thinks about it more. In 1994, Wegener explained how deliberate thought suppression can backfire, especially under stress. The mind becomes like a hand pushing a beach ball underwater. You can do it, but it takes energy, and the ball pops up when you are tired. This is where withdrawal enters the story. Some withdrawal is wise. The body needs rest. The spirit needs quiet. But some withdrawal is not rest. It is avoidance that slowly shrinks your world until your world feels too small to live in. The traveler began to disappear. He answered fewer messages. He postponed tasks. He delayed appointments. At first it felt protective. Later it felt imprisoning. So I pointed him toward a tool, not a slogan. Behavioral activation. In 2006, Demigian and colleagues published a randomized trial comparing behavioral activation, cognitive therapy, and antidepressant medication. Behavioral activation performed as well as medication for more severely depressed participants. The deeper lesson is simple. When motivation is absent, action can come first. Life expands again through small, structured steps, not through inspirational speeches. So now, at last, the traveler noticed the quiet craftsperson at the table. The craftsperson did not sell bliss. He did not sell urgency. He did not sell denial. He sold a way of living that holds up under weight. He said, "Build your life on principles you can practice when you are tired. Choose values, not permanent happiness. Support autonomy, competence, and connection. Make meaning through the stories you build and the contributions you make. Regulate emotion with skill, not suppression. Return from withdrawal through steady action, not dramatic reinvention." And here's the final proverb. A calm life is not a life without storms. It is a life with a boat that you actually know how to row,